All right, guys, first and foremost, I want to talk about my homeworks that I got that were amazing or that blew me away. And first up is Caroline. So let me just find Caroline. There she is. Okay, Caroline, really well done in your homework. Can you please help me read out your sentences with my corrections?
Reno is so blurry I might clean it. The drum blasted loudly, so
Blasted.
I awoke. My sister cried,
Blasted.
played loudly, blasted loudly, made me feel awful.
Awful.
Sometimes you jerky awful. Sometimes use jerky motion. I don't want to go on jerky. A jerky bus is make me giddy. Do it rude to adults. Don't eat other food without asking. It's rude.
Good job. Well done, Caroline. Okay, next up I have Hannah's homework. Really good job, Hannah, again. Can you help me by reading out uh, oh, your
When I cry, it starts to get blurry in my eyes. It starts to get blurry when
you
I ha- when
you
you
have tears.
tears in your eyes.
Good job.
My
Well done.
baby sister blasted out
Loudly.
loudly when she shouted. Loudly when she shouted.
Good girl.
I heard cars blast down the road. Feel dizzy on a jerky car or bus. Do you like to ride on jerky cars or buses? Alex is being rude when he hits Shelly. Stop being rude, shouted Mr. Bob.
Good girl. Well done, Hannah. Okay, moving on. Today is our reading comprehension today. I'm very excited because the story we're going to read today is one of my favorites. I absolutely love this story. Okay, can you please read about performance arts? Can you please read this for me? Mingha, this page?
People around the world love stories and storytellers. Some storytellers tell their tales with words alone. Some use puppets. In Japan,
Kamishibai.
Kamishiba is the old art of telling stories with beautiful large pictures. Such a storyteller, you find out that stories may change through the years, but people will always love to hear stories.
Good job. Well done, Mingha. Lovely reading. Okay, guys, so people around the world love stories and storytellers. Some storytellers use just words, some use puppets, but in Japan, there is a type of storytelling called kamishibai, and it's an art of telling stories with beautiful, large picture cards and a small stage. It looks a little bit like this. So you would have this stand or this box, and you would open it up, and you would see lots of different picture cards. And as the person tells the story, they will change the picture cards. So it's kind of like a storybook that's being propped up and shown to many people at one time. And so usually a kamishibai man or woman would bring their stand with them on their bicycle, on their motorbike, and they would tell stories. And as the story changed, they would pull out each card and show a new picture. So it's a really beautiful way of telling stories. Have a look at the genre. Today, the genre is realistic fiction. Realistic fiction is a story that could happen in real life. As you read, look for a setting that could be a real place, realistic characters and events, and a plot with a beginning, middle, and ending. Can you please read for me the about the author and the illustrator, Cindy.
Meet the author and the illustrator.
Alan.
Alan say. Alan say. If you were to draw say in his art studio, you might find him lying on the floor. The journey was over the
Called
medal for best
illustrations. Good girl, Cindy.
illustrators.
Good girl, Cindy. Really lovely readings. All right, Kamashibai Man by Alan Say. Can you please read this page for me? I choose. Click the raise your hand button if you'd like to read. So I want to see lots of hands up. So far, I've only got 3. I've got Hannah, Cindy, and Caroline.
Not so long ago in Japan, in a small house on a hillside, there lived an old man and his wife.
Chan, what are they talking about here? What are they discussing?
Parents died. Yi Chan rode his bicycle down the hillside in the first light of morning. How his mother used to sing when he was a small boy.
Good job. Lovely reading. Thanks, Leo. So the next day, after talking with Ba-chan about going back on his rounds, he gets his bicycle out and starts driving into the city. Okay. Can you please read for me here? Let's go for Teddy.
When he came to the city, left it one behind him.
Thank you very much. Good job. Lovely reading, Teddy. Question. Okay, thanks for reading, Teddy. So what's happened here, guys? It says that he said, I must have taken a wrong turn, but there's that old house I used to go by every afternoon. Why does Ji-chan think he has taken a wrong turn? Any ideas?
He think he have a wrong turn because he didn't in the city for a while and the city have made some of more buildings.
Very
and
good.
He didn't know that because he didn't came for look at how the building built.
Yeah, he hasn't been for a very long time. Good job, Kwan Kai. That's exactly the answer I was looking for. I'd like a girl this time. I'd like to go for Mickey. Mickey, can you read this page, please?
He pulled into the vacation who need to buy so many things and eat so many different food.
Good girl. Thank you for reading. Sad. Tell me what kinds of things you find or you feel when you look at this picture. Teddy?
I think Chan feels alone and sad.
Good girl. Well done, Teddy. Alone or loneliness was exactly what I was looking for. Okay, have a look. So can I have someone reading from shaking to days? I'd like a boy this time, and I'm going to go for Kui Kang. Shaking to days.
In his head, he candy just like it all day.
Good
The
job.
internet was disconnected.
Okay, thank you for letting me know, Kui Kang. Okay, and then next, I'd like you to read Zaling from to clack.
From the top, get your squeak and listen to my story. Clack, clack.
Clack, clack, clack. Good girl. Thank you for reading Zaling Wei. Now, here is where I want to talk about something. This book is very interesting because it has flashbacks. Now, flashbacks mean it's telling a story from the past. So, as he clacks his wooden blocks together, about to tell a story, he ends up telling the story of his own life. So now we're flashing back to when Ji-chan was a young man. So in the present day, Ji-chan is old, but he's telling a story about him in the old days as a Kamashibai man. Okay, Can you please read this page for me? Emma. Ah, yes.
Yes, I can see you now. All your bright faces, clasping,
Clasping.
clasping coins in your little hands. So happy to hear my clappers. So happy to see your Kamishibai man.
Good. The Peach Boy, the Bamboo Princess was a nice change, a gentle story. Then my favorite, the old man who made cherry trees bloom. And when I was finished, you all went home happy, except for that poor boy. Would you like a candy? I asked once. He said, I don't like candies, and ran away. Ming Huang, Ming Huang, can I stop you? Can you speak louder into the microphone? It's quite difficult to hear you.
Then one night I was going home and saw a cover all jerky and blurry and no colors at all.
Lovely. Thanks for reading, Ming Huang. Attention to it. Let's have a look. Can you please read this page for me, Lei Kai?
It wasn't long after that when television antennas started to sprout from the rooftops like weeds in the springtime. And the more they grew, the fewer boys and girls came out to listen to my stories. How can they like those blurry pictures better than my beautiful painting? I asked, but there was nothing to be done. As I went around and familiar
Neighborhoods. Good.
the children started to ask neighborhood. The children started to ask through. They didn't know me anymore.
Good girl. So be careful though. This word is though, so not through. If there was an R here, that would be through. The children started to act as though they didn't know me anymore. Lovely reading, Lei Kai. Good girl. And then can you read this page for me, please? Steve. Even so,
I went on clacking my clappers, and one day a little girl poked her head out the window and shushed me. Imagine her
imagine a little girl shushing me.
the Kamashi by man was making too much noise. I sat on a park bench and ate a candy
For lunch.
lunch. How could the world change so quickly? Was I a bad storyteller? Then that boy came. The boy who didn't like candies. Why aren't you watching television? I asked. Like television. He said, but you like my story. I said, he nodded his little head.
Okay, good job. Thanks for reading, Steve. Okay, guys, so on these 2 pages, what have we learned about the invention of the TV? How has the invention of the TV affected Ji-chan? How has it affected his life? Invention of the TV affected Kamishibai man's life. Hannah, girl. Good girl, well done. Basically, the invention of the TV means that children aren't interested in him anymore. And this makes him very sad. We can see his face here. All the children, they don't care about his stories anymore. All they care about is watching TV at home. And even one day, They were children watching TV, and he started clacking his wooden clackers together to let everyone know he was about to tell a story. And a little girl is very rude. She comes to the window and says, "Shh," and it makes him feel extremely sad. He says, "Imagine a little girl shushing me. The Kamashibai man was making too much noise." So then he goes to sit on a park bench and is feeling very sad about how life has changed so much. He thinks he's a bad storyteller. I got up and set the stage. "What's your favorite story?" I asked. "Little One Inch," he answered. So I told him the story of a brave little boy who was only 1 inch tall. And as I told the story, the boy never looked at the picture cards in the stage. He was looking at me the whole time, with his mouth wide open. He even smiled now and then. When I finished the story, I started to take out some sweets to give him, but he was already running away. "Wait!" I shouted, but he kept running and never turned his head. That was the last time I saw that boy. That was the last day I was a Kamashibai man. Why do you think this was the last day he decided to be a Kamashibai man? Good girl, Caroline. Your hand was up so quickly. Go ahead.
I think because everyone is like television more than his story, and he thinks this is the last day he is a Kamashibai man.
Good girl. Well done. Exactly. He's been shushed by a little girl. No one's coming to listen to his stories. So he decides that that day is probably going to be the last day of being a Kamashibai man. But is it the last day? Let's have a look. I'm going to keep reading for us because we're running a little bit out of time. "I was that boy," a loud voice cried out. Startled, the Kamashibai man looked up and saw that a large crowd had gathered before him. So now we are going back to the present day. We've just been in the past tense for a long time of Kamashibai man telling the story of his life when he was younger. But now we're transported back until the present day when he's an old man. And he notices that while he's been telling his story, a large group of people have come to see him. "We grew up with your stories," someone else shouted. "Tell us Little One Inch again, and the Bamboo Princess, the Peach Boy." He started to say something, and people began to clap their hands. He took a deep bow, and the applause got louder. A young man with a movie camera struggled up to him. They bowed to each other, and as the old man gave him a candy, a roar went up. "Look, he has all the same old sweets, just like the old days." And the office clerks and shopkeepers, bankers and waitresses, housewives and delivery men, all lined up in a big circle around the Kamashibai man. So all these adults, as you can see, have grown up. They were children many, many years ago. They're all the same children that Ji-chan used to tell stories to. And look how happy they are to see him. Everyone is so excited to see him again and listen to his stories once again. Okay, turn over the page. It was dark when he got home. Ba-chan was watching the evening news. The Kamashibai man was the featured story. So he was so popular that the cameraman took his picture, where there's a cameraman here holding up a camera and taking his picture and putting Ji-chan on the television. So he made it onto the TV. "I see you had a busy day," she said. "It was a good day," Ji-chan nodded. "Will you be going out tomorrow?" Yes, and the day after." "Then you need more sweets." "That would be very nice. Could you make it twice the usual amount?" "I'll see if I have enough sugar," she said, and shut the television off. And that is the end of our story. Now, at the end of the story, how is it left? Do you think from reading this page that Kamashibai man will go into town again and tell more stories? Or do you think he will never tell stories again? What do you think? from the conversation he has with Ba-chan, do you think he will be going back into town to tell his stories again? Good girl, Hannah. You've had your hand up for pretty much every single question. Really good girl, Hannah. But I need to see some other students interacting. What do you think? Do you think that Ji-chan will go back into town and tell more stories again? So Hannah's had her hand up for lots of questions and has answered many questions. Okay, Kiwi, what do you think?
I think he will go on town tomorrow.
Good girl. He is. He had such a good day doing it that he will be going back again. Ba-chan says, will you be going out tomorrow? And he said, yes, and the day after. So this lets us know that not only is he going back out tomorrow to tell some stories, but also the next day. And when Ba-chan said, you'll need more sweets, he says, can you make twice the usual amount? So that lets us know that he is imagining that he's going to need double or twice the amount of candy because there are going to be so many people listening to his stories. So actually, that day many years ago was not his last day as a Kamishibai man. He is going to return to being a Kamishibai man once again. Okay, guys, I'm going to share my screen with you again to show you what your homework is. Homework is, as always, our 10 comprehension questions, and I want you to write the page number. So for homework tonight, you will use your book or you will use the link and you will answer the questions based on the story. So you go through the questions, you try and find the answers, and you write down the page number where you got the answer from. So just do your homework the way that you should do it. Don't be lazy. Go through the book, find where the answers are. You can do that. Okay, guys, I will see you all tomorrow morning. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.